Folks, welcome to Metal Wani and Metal Nation Radio. This is your host Vitek, and with us today we have the guitar maestro Phil Sgrosso from Wovenwar. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good.
Just 2 weeks left for your European tour with Sylosis. So you've toured Europe so many times with As I Lay Dying. So how excited are you to play these new tracks in front of your European fans?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a newer experience, having a newer set list with a lot more songs, and it's definitely exciting again to not be playing the same things you've been playing for years. So yeah, we're pretty amped on playing the new stuff.
That's cool because you guys released an album, and an amazing debut album, which was a straightforward hard rock attack and a veritable reinvention phase for all of you. And I'm sure fans were blown away with the material when you guys unleashed it live on Black Label Society tour. So when we talk about how it's been a year back, how have the fans responded to the band and the music right from the beginning?
Well, I think everyone has the obvious preconceived, notion. I mean, they think they're getting As I Lay Dying, but that's we've been trying to kind of separate the sound a little bit, and it's kind of half and half. A lot of people are easily accepting of it, and then a lot of others are still kind of holding on to the past, and they kind of don't know what to expect. So. True. I think it's going to take some time for people to digest the new sound, and obviously having a newer singer and stuff like that with Shane. So it takes time.
Absolutely.
With any new band,
That's true. Now you guys will be headlining UK for the first time with Wovenwar. So I'm assuming that the set is going to be longer compared to being co-headlining band with Sylosis. So that gives you guys to play some more tracks for your fans.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we got to fill up like a 45. I mean, our album, the most that we could play if it was every song is like 54 minutes. So we can't even hit an hour unless, we throw in a bunch of other like covers or something like that. But, for the first time headlining, we just want the show to be like just from start to finish, just a powerful experience and no filler, just go. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, I was just wondering, because with just one album, how do you guys plan your set list? I mean, do you guys include some covers, or do you guys play some As I Lay Dying tunes which are like more into, let's say, something which you guys haven't played before live, or how does it go?
A lot of there's a couple of the songs that are like the more single, like the first impression songs that people heard, like All Rise, Death to Rights, Tempest. Those are definitely staples of the set, and but we've talked about covers. We've even done some acoustic little 3-song sets at record stores and stuff. So but we don't generally tap into our previous band's stuff. We want this to be a whole new experience, and don't not look to the past, just only looking forward.
That's awesome. So this brings me to the question that, do you guys get inspiration when you're on tour? I mean, you have other bands on the bill and you travel various countries, various cities. Do you guys get inspired to write some new material when you're on tour?
Definitely. I mean, we've been fortunate enough to be touring with a lot of great bands, and we've toured with In Flames we did 6 weeks in Europe and the UK, and then we did a month over in the States earlier this year, and just being on a tour with a band like that, like great friends, and it's just a good time, and just being surrounded by good music, it's definitely inspiring. And there's so much time in the day to just pick up your guitar and just start noodling around, and ideas are, sometimes they just start flowing, and you're just like, all right, cool, I got a bunch of ideas for new songs for the next album. And you got to stay busy, like when you're on tour, so there's no better thing than your instrument to pick up.
That's really true. So any update? Like it's been a year since you guys have put out an album. So you guys working on some new material, something which fans might be looking forward to later this year or maybe early next year?
I think the plan we're starting to put together is to have something out next year.
Hmm.
So that means, you know, how you work backwards with everything. We will start writing probably by summertime. We'll start,
Okay.
and you know, we want to make sure we have enough time to really make album number two, you know, something, you know, even more special than the first album. So,
Right.
you know, we don't want to be you know, running tight on time schedules and deadlines and stuff. So we want to make sure we allow ourselves enough time to, you know, just get something that we're very, very happy with.
That's true because when I listen to the the debut album and your previous for all the albums you guys have released with As I Dying, there's a greater emphasis on melody and those amazing choruses and less emphasis on heavy riffs and the overall brutality, which definitely surprised me. So when you and Nick sit together, carry your instruments, magic happens. This is what I feel as a guitarist and a drummer, that you guys have been like a combination of you and Nick is amazing. How do you guys sit and write? I mean, what sort of procedure do you guys follow?
Well, most of us are all pretty savvy with Pro Tools and kind of recording at our own home little studio setup. So generally, it's you know, we can program drums on our own, and
Right.
you know, there's this element of self-sufficiency that you know, someone who has a song idea, even like from start to finish, like I'll write an entire song like completely done
Hmm.
and send over to the guys to get their take on it, get their feel on, yeah, like cool riff, cool chorus, like this. And the vocalists are definitely the big um, part of. I want them to be like, yes, I got vocal melody ideas
Right.
immediately just from first listen. So it's just kind of people kind of send each other their song ideas, or like, here's a riff, tell me what you think, and we kind of go from there. And then once there's like a good amount, a few songs, we'll start jamming and
Hmm.
kind of getting the natural organic feel. And just that's when drum parts start to kind of evolve, a lot more
Right.
like drum fills and little transitions we start working out in person, and then we reprogram on Pro Tools, and then we kind of have pre-production that's just like ready. Once we go into the studio, we are like fully prepared to like go and not waste any time.
That's cool. Now, do you guys give any guidance to Jordan? I mean, he's a beast on drums. So, is it sometimes that you or Nick say, "Hey, Jordan, I think you can make it much better," or it's just Jordan always comes up with epic, amazing parts?
I mean, Jordan is such a talented drummer, and I've enjoyed playing with him, music with him for 10 years, over 10 years. So,
Right.
but as a songwriter, it's, you know, a lot of the times a guitar player, can map things out and be
Hmm.
like, this drum beat works well with this guitar part, works well with the flow of the song.
Hmm.
So a lot of the times it's pretty obvious to him, like, okay, this is the best thing. But then, like I said, when we start jamming,
Right.
that's when the drums really start coming alive, because you know someone can program all these parts that are more straightforward, but then once he gets his flair on it, then it definitely becomes more of like a beast, I guess.
That's cool. So what's Shane's? I mean, now you guys are three guitarists on board. So what now, of course his vocals are the primary and he takes care of the melodies and how you guys plan things together. But as a guitarist, Shane, what sort of contribution does he bring to the table?
Shane's definitely, with the first album, he was mainly focusing on vocals with
Hmm.
Josh, him and Josh working together on that. Um, and he'd written the song Father Son, which definitely brought a different element to the album.
Right.
And I think now, well, I think having three guitar players, you don't all want to be playing the same thing. There's no real need to be playing it. And a
Right.
lot of times with how maybe technical like riffs can be, you just don't want to muddy things up. So that allows us to really add different textures, different layers, and things that where guitars aren't stepping on each other, and they're not stepping on vocals either, but there's just like always a little something extra kind of sprinkled throughout like an entire song.
Right. That's cool. So, you guys are a touring machine. I mean, with Wovenwar, you guys, I'm sure, are going to continue their assault for the rest of the year. So that brings me to the question that have you guys ever thought, I mean, for your more than 10 long years journey, that you have fans here in India waiting for you to play?
I mean, it's having fans anywhere is such a, we're all so grateful to just be making music for as long as we have, and hopefully we can make it for, there's no end in sight, and that's just to have support from, like-minded musicians or music listeners. It's just like, yeah, cool. This is to have that opportunity to make music for a living and travel around to such awesome places and learn about new cultures and stuff like that.
Right.
It's an experience that you can never take it for granted.
Absolutely. So, did you guys get any offers from India when, as part of As I Lay Dying, or even with Wovenwar?
Not that I know of, but I know a lot of bands are going over there, and but yeah, nothing from what I remember has really headed our way.
Okay, because it's surprising. There were a lot of rumors that there's a possibility of Wovenwar come last year, or maybe when the As I Lay Dying was coming to an end, and there was a plan of having Killswitch and AILD together, but it didn't work out. So at least now with Wovenwar, I hope you guys get to come and play for your thousands of fans here.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Cannibal Corpse and Suicide Silence just came over there.
Yeah.
So I think as long as like metal bands are continuously, playing there, it'll, lead to opportunities for bands like us to go over there with, say, like Killswitch Engage. That would make a lot of sense,
Right. That's absolutely true. Now, do you guys burn out during tours? Like, I mean, you've been touring like every year, you hardly get time to take some break and spend some time with the family. So do you guys kind of feel burnout, like, okay, that's enough, I need to take a break for a few months and then get back on road?
Well, I think towards the end of As I Lay Dying, there was definitely a burnout mentality with a lot of us, just of, it's great to be able to, like I said, make a living and be touring and playing shows. It's like, yeah, that's great, but it's like when the vibes within the band aren't exactly that great, it definitely puts a damper on everything. But absolutely. I think now that this is kind of a refreshing experience for us to, even though it's the same four guys, it's like now that having Shane as well in the picture, there's like this newfound excitement of like, and we're doing this new band, so we're just like excited and like we want to work hard and we want to like build this thing up to where we kind of left off with the last band. So there's excitement that kind of over the burnout aspect isn't there anymore.
That's great to hear that, Phil. Now, before I conclude the interview, for all your fans in UK and even in Europe who'll be listening to the interview and waiting for you guys to come back again, is there a message from Phil Sgrosso?
Oh, a message? I would, just always, with music, it's just one thing that not everyone gets to do it, and it's kind of a crazy job to have, and so it's just supporting all the bands you can and going out to the shows and having a good time. It's like that's what kind of brought everyone to this, like and we're just thankful for all the years that we've had support from all of our fans everywhere, and and all the fans that carried on over to Wovenwar. It's like we are eternally grateful, and we just want to just keep playing and pumping out new songs and new albums and just having people be stoked on on our creativity, you know?